Good to see you. I've missed you. I missed it. That twinkle in your eye. That skip in your step.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I now ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your headwear and join each other with the name of our Canadian national anthem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 2 of the 2024 Football Canada Cup here at Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan, as we have Team Alberta facing off against Team New Brunswick. My name is Chris Haddisbeck. I'm joined with my friend Olivier Eddy for Game 2 here. Olivier, what are we looking forward to this game?
Well, this game is interesting. We have a bit of information on both teams. You know, Team Alberta being ranked 3rd in this tournament, playing Team New Brunswick, the underdogs, ranked 6th. The good news for New Brunswick, leading up to this tournament, they had some exhibition games. They did very well. They beat Nova Scotia by a score of 30-6 a couple of weeks ago, and then early on a score of 18-6. Now, the bad news is that in that first game, their star running back tore his ACL. He's not here for the tournament. And even worse, as of this morning, the 3 starting linebackers for Team New Brunswick are out with what we believe is either an illness or food poisoning. So New Brunswick is in for a little bit of a challenge today, having less players on the roster than Team Alberta. Team Alberta on their side, returning 11 players from last year.
Yeah, that's obviously unfortunate, hearing about the linebackers being out with that illness and, of course, the running back getting hurt. But either way, we're going to kick this one off here. Team New Brunswick kicking off. Alberta catches that at the 15-yard line, has some good blocking in front of him. He finds a lane there, tries to split the defenders. That's number 7. That's Ethan Granum with the return there, doing a nice job.
And absolutely, now we start this first drive of the game. We're going to figure out right away what these teams are made of. These first drives, always a bit of a tester. You know, you try to see what your O-line can do against the front 7. Maybe you try an inside run to see what you can learn there, which most teams do.
Starting quarterback for Team Alberta, number 4, George Arbez, out of the Harry Ainley program in Edmonton, a very strong football program. Beside him is his starting running back, Seth Polzer, out of Holy Trinity Knights in Okotoks. There, hands it to him. Quickly met at the line of scrimmage, though, for no gain.
Well, that inside handoff, as we anticipated, a lot of teams will open up with something like that to see if their O-line can get some push, if there's some mismatches in the trenches. But Team New Brunswick's all over that one. It's going to be second and long.
Number 9, Landon Dingy on the D-line there out of Moncton, making a nice play for New Brunswick. Second and 9 now, ball on the 45. Arbaz and Polzer still in the backfield. Arbaz will take the snap. He'll look to throw. Look to his right. Quickly gets that away. That's going to be dropped on the play. It's going to force a third down.
Good coverage nonetheless from Team New Brunswick. Even a reception there, you would have had a access to web stream on our end as well. We'll see your comments. Go ahead and tell us who you're cheering for, where you're from. We'll try to interact with you once in a while, try to keep it fun and have some back and forth between Chris and I and you guys back at home.
Punting for Team Alberta, number 20, Ira Hozak.
New Brunswick with the aggressive punt return scheme, one returner in the back. That means there's one more close to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they try to bring in some pressure.
It's like high snap there, does a good job to catch that with one hand, gets that punt away. It's going to be a short punt, lands at about the 42, goes past the returner though. He's going to have to backtrack, and New Brunswick will fall on that there on the 25-yard line. That's Mateo Imbo.
Some pressure indeed, got pretty close to blocking that punt, and almost as importantly forced a rush punt from the punter. But unfortunately that bounce does not benefit New Brunswick. It's Team Alberta who gets the best out of that field position change.
So Team New Brunswick will take over right there for their first drive of the game. We see our starting lineup on the line or on the screen here.
Team New Brunswick going with 2 running backs today. They've mentioned they've got a bit of a 1A, 1B, both very capable running backs. Will both get some touches today.
Starting quarterback number 4, Ethan Stockman. Handoff to their running back number 15, Asher Beckley. Makes a nice cut there and gets a good gain on first down, close to a first down.
Again, both teams trying to figure out early on in the trenches, do they have an advantage, yes or no? New Brunswick getting a very solid first down run. They got to feel good about that, as now they have 2nd and 1. Wide open playbook for Team New Brunswick, Zach Colangelo and the staff.
Tristan Grundy in on the tackle there. Stockman in the gun, takes the snap, turns, hands it off. That time met in the backfield, but keeps his feet going. Great job by Beckley there to move the chains for a first down.
2 positive runs to start the day for Team New Brunswick. We said the name of Zach Colangelo. He's the 2nd-year head coach for this program. Zach has been in the news lately because he's coming back from an IFAF under-20 Team Canada victory. They beat Japan in the IFAF championships to claim gold, the champions of the world. That's pretty special.
That is very special. Congrats to Team Canada on that. Stockman takes the snap, little read option there, keeps it himself that time, breaks one tackle, keeps his feet moving, and gets a good chunk there on first down.
Another positive run. That's 3 runs in a row for Team New Brunswick. They got to be pretty happy with what they're seeing out of their offensive front so far. T-Dot, is this the same commentators from last year? We did the U16 tournament last year. We did the U16 tournament last week that just ended yesterday, where we saw Team Saskatchewan defeat Team Alberta in the gold medal game. We did not do the U18 Canada Cup last year, but we're happy to do so this year.
Stockman in the gun out of Harrison Trimble High in Moncton. Takes that, has a jet motion coming across. He will toss that on that jet there. That is toss to number 5, Noah Crowley. Gets a small gain on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and a decision coming here for New Brunswick. Decision
time for Colangelo and his staff. It's 3rd and 2, pretty much on the dot here. Maybe a long 2. And Team New Brunswick seems to be wanting to go for it. Or, as a late substitution happens here, punt team is running on.
Gavin Weiser with the tackle there for Team Alberta out of Harry Ainley. And yes, as you mentioned, Team New Brunswick sending on the punt squad here.
Obi-Wan Kenobi chiming in, saying that Stockman executes this RPO offense so well. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that out of Team New Brunswick. Quarterbacks having the option to hand the ball off. They're going to be reading some defenders, often outside linebackers, to decide if they want to throw the ball or pass it. But yeah, no, that's going to be the ammo of Team New Brunswick from what we know.
Gilmore Allen in to punt this one away. It's going to be short kick there. Bounce, catches on the bounce there. He's got lots of room on the right side for Alberta. He's going to run out of bounds just over center field. That's number 32, David Okoya.
Tough punt with the ball being hung in the middle of the field there, giving Alberta a chance at a good return, which they take advantage of. It'll be first down for them just on their side of midfield.
So some good back and forth here to start this game.
Yeah, in these tournaments, there's always, you get a number 3 seed playing against number 6. You'd expect Alberta to have some sort of advantage, especially with the large amount of returning players, maybe the team with the most returning players in this tournament.
Arbaz hands that off to Seth Polzer inside, makes some people miss there. Gain of about 7 on the play. We mentioned this in the first game. This is your first game tuning in. Just a reminder, here at Mosaic Stadium, you'll see the hash marks there are set up for the CFL game. There are the amateur hash marks on the outside, just not quite as bright, so you have to keep an eye out for that. As they'll take this, hand it off to Polzer again that time, makes a cut, and that's going to move the chains for a Team Alberta first down. And
Team Alberta also mentioning, they feel like they have really 2 solid quarterbacks, 2 solid running backs, and a really solid receiver group. So they feel like on offense, they're pretty strong this year.
Polzer with a nice carry there. Brought down on the play by number 1, John O'Neill. Arbez and Polzer in the backfield again. 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Motion snap there. Takes it, hands it off to Polzer. Has a cut there. Nice tackle on the play there. Had some room on the outside there. Number 1 again, John O'Neill in on the tackle.
That's John O'Neill from Tantramar Regional High in Sackville, New Brunswick. Tantramar being one of the top programs in New Brunswick for years now. Scott O'Neill, one of the assistant coaches here for Team New Brunswick, has been part of the program for years. I know Tantramar has been dominant, as well as Harrison Trimble, Riverview High. Lots of good programs out of New Brunswick.
Ethan Granum now in the backfield there, but they're going to throw this one. That's going to be caught on the right side there for a short gain. Number 9, Alden Bilibogovic.
3rd and 2, similar scenario to New Brunswick had, but this time it's Alberta in New Brunswick territory. They're probably going to go for it.
As they will keep the offense on the field here. George Arbez breaks the huddle there. Ethan Granum to his right. Big opportunity here for Team New Brunswick defense to get a stop. We see Granum step back there now in the I formation, or single back, as he comes back up now. They'll take it. They will hand it off to him off the left side. He's going to be met right away, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for Team New Brunswick.
First big play of this game between Alberta and New Brunswick. It's New Brunswick who gets the best out of Alberta out of a 3rd down stop. You got to feel good if you're the underdogs here. It's a good start to the game.
In on that tackle, number 6, Sam Dunn, and number 1, once again, John O'Neill. A couple players listed as defensive backs maybe having to play in the box now because of those that illness you mentioned, and they're playing good.
Yeah, that's an understanding. And New Brunswick's defense is going to have to do things differently. Some players doing things they're not used to doing because of these injuries, or these illnesses, I should mention.
This time we have number 2, Oliver Hicks, in at quarterback for New Brunswick. He'll take the snap. You have a penalty on the play. Quickly out, caught by number 11 there. Has to make some people miss. Makes one person miss. Keeps his feet moving. That is Leo Foster with a nice play, but we'll see what the call is.
New Brunswick running the no huddle, freeze, check with me type of offense, something that you and I are very familiar with. It's I'm having a smile and a smirk on my face seeing that on the field.
That's right. Yeah, something you are very familiar with. As we see the officials get together to discuss this one, while we have the opportunity, let's just talk about today's officials. Our referee, Rob Isbister, umpire Hugo Dallaire, down judge Greg Guest, line judge Terry Blundell, side judge Jake Anderson, back judge Travis Jerkovitz, and field judge Jason Curry. Looks like an offside declined, as Team New Brunswick is going to take that completion to Leo Foster and move the chains. Oliver Hicks staying in at QB here, out of Tantramar. You've mentioned them. Noah Crowley in the backfield with him. Hicks will take it. He'll turn. He'll hand it to Crowley that time. Makes a cut there on the counter. Met right away, though. Keeps his feet moving. Does a nice job there. Gets a gain of about maybe 4.
New Brunswick has to feel good heading into this tournament. They're ranked 6th, the highest ranking of the last few years, that's for sure. They're coming off 2 wins against Nova Scotia. It's a program that has been building for the last few years. I think they're in a spot now they could be very proud of what they've accomplished.
Absolutely. Tackled by number 25, Solomon Carlson on the play for Alberta. We have 2nd and 4 here. Ball on the 52 for New Brunswick. Good drive so far. Oliver Hicks in the backfield. He'll take the snap. He'll look to throw right away. QB draw that time, leading behind Crowley there. Has to make some people miss. It's going to be 3rd and 2 here for Team New Brunswick.
Again, decision time. Last time New Brunswick opted to punt, and I think they're substituting some players in.
Looks like maybe a jumbo formation coming in.
It sure does. We see number 63 with the blue helmet. That's the Mathieu Martin helmet, my high school back in the days in Dieppe, New Brunswick. So I love seeing that. That's Lennox Dagle out of École Mathieu Martin in
nice
Dieppe, New
tackle
Brunswick.
on the play by number 22, Sam Metcalf. Yes, a high school you're very familiar with, as we see that bright blue helmet lining up at a tight end position here, closest to us.
New Brunswick seems to have substituted 2 offensive linemen in to play tight end, so those players are reporting.
Noah Crowley, the running back on this drive, lining up under center, but maybe some confusion here as we see a timeout called on the play.
New Brunswick electing to use their first timeout. This is a crucial part of the game. It's very early, but you want to get this right. You don't want to turn the ball over on downs and midfield and give Alberta a good field position again. You yourself just got benefit of Alberta's miss opportunity on 3rd down, so you want to make sure you get this right.
We saw how excited Team Alberta was before the game in warm-ups, coming out, very hype, very loud, and Team New Brunswick doing a good job to weather that excitement and have a big play here on 3rd and 2.
Alberta being so loud that I almost want to call them Berta. They were chanting Berta, Berta, Berta all the way from the top of the, well, where the locker room access is, all the way to the field. I hope the players still have some voices left.
I think that's right. That's right. They were, it's loud here at Mosaic. It echoes quite a bit in the booth here, and we heard some of the Alberta fans with the horns here. It's great to see the fan support, of course, on day 1 here of the Canada Cup.
Got questions here about the helmets on the chat. I mean, they're representative of these players' clubs, teams, or high school teams, so you'll see helmets of all sorts of different colors on both sides.
Evan Stockman in now at quarterback. Read that play option. He's brought down in the backfield there for Team Alberta. That's 34, Joseph Abu Meshrik making a great play.
And the Team New Brunswick bench is furious as there was defensive movement on the D-line. I thought there might have been a free play, an automatic 1st down on the offsides. D-lineman from Alberta jumped, but there's no call. He might have not been fully in the neutral zone yet. Hard to say from where we are, but Team New Brunswick coaching staff is upset at the officials for that one.
So that will result in a turnover on downs. George Arbez leading the way here. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to try and find his receiver deep. He takes the short one. That's tipped. He had the wide out open deep and tried to go with the short route and almost ends up in an interception.
Always tough to tell, these quarterbacks, are they told to read, deep to medium to shallow or left to right or shallow first before being deep? These are things that we don't know right from up here. Sometimes at home we go, well, there's an open receiver there, but it might not be part of the read progression. Either way, we're now looking at 2nd and 10 and a likely other passing situation from midfield.
Arbez and Granum in the backfield here for Team Alberta, 2nd and 10. Arbez takes the snap, looks to throw quickly over the middle, finds a receiver, but he's thrown behind, and that's going to be an incomplete pass and another punt opportunity here for Team New Brunswick.
Yeah, so far both teams feeling each other out. New Brunswick having the best out of the 1st down situation, but given Alberta's nice kickoff return to start the game, the field position is in Alberta's favor. We have a good game on our hands with 3:03 left in his 1st quarter.
Ira Hozak coming in to punt this one away. Just a reminder, we are doing our best with pronunciations. We do not have the phonetical spelling, so give us a hand in the chat if you're watching and there's any corrections. As Hozak will call for this one. Last time had to deal with a high snap. This time it's at his feet, does a good job to catch that, punts this one away, gets a nice booming punt that time. It's going to land out of bounds about the 13-yard line, and that's a great punt by Hozak.
If you're the special team scoring for Team Alberta, you're very happy. That's where you want your punt to land, as deep as possible, right on that white stripe. It's going to be first down for New Brunswick inside their own 20. So, Chris, we're at beautiful Mosaic Stadium that we know and love because we reside here in Regina. We've seen many professional games here. We also coached and saw many amateur games here. One of the beauty of this facility is that it's really open to the public, right? High school teams play here, club teams play here. It's a fantastic place to play football.
It is. It's a beautiful stadium, as we see some early movement again there, but they get back. It's one of the best facilities in the country, if not the best, for football. It's great to have this tournament here. We'll be here 2 of the 3 days as Oliver Hicks that time throws complete to number 11. Breaks the tackle. He's going to head down the sideline. Finally pushed down of bounds around the 50. That is number 11, and Leo Foster making a nice play.
Yeah, big time play by Team New Brunswick. And as we keep talking about Mosaic Stadium here, we get to see beautiful replays on the Sastel Maxtron. For those who are not familiar with the stadium, that is the second largest outdoor screen in North America, the largest in Canada. It is bigger than an NBA basketball court and 3 rows of seating. How about that for a visual representation of this massive screen we get to see the replays on here at Mosaic Stadium?
So 1st and 10 now, ball on the 50-yard line. Hicks still in at quarterback. Turns, hands it off this time inside, makes one cut. Nice job there by the ball carrier, getting a good gain on first down.
New Brunswick continuing to use this check with me offense where they get to get some feedback maybe from the coaches up in the booth, and then the coordinator gets a signal back into his play caller, and the whole offense looking to him on the sideline. They've had great success so far in this no-huddle, check with me type of offense.
Yeah, very familiar looking offense for us, of course. Obviously a very similar offense to one that you run. As we have the same backfield here, Stockman in, Crowley beside him. Stockman looks to throw, looks to his left that time, looking for Leo Foster, goes over his head. That's going to fall incomplete and force a 3rd down.
3rd and 4. New Brunswick seems to be sending on the punt unit, not taking many chances. Chris, we talked about this familiar offense system. You know, I started my coaching career in New Brunswick. I did start my coaching career at Mount Allison University. That's what we had as a system terminology. And it's making me smile to see that 12 years later I'm seeing Team New Brunswick use similar signals on the sideline, making me chuckle. But I love to see it on my end. I've got a bit of a soft spot for it.
Gilmore Allen in to punt this one away for Team New Brunswick on 3rd and 4. He'll catch the snap, gets a nice punt away, heading towards the sideline, bounces at the 20, stops right dead there. Going to have to be careful for no yards. They will throw it as the flag comes out there. Number 11 doing a nice job for Team Alberta, getting a couple extra yards and getting the penalty.
Yeah, it's not a bad punt at all, but of course with the ball kind of stopping dead, the Team New Brunswick player is caught in that halo, so it's going to be a penalty, but it's an okay exchange on the punt.
So, back and forth game, no score, very tight game so far from both sides. Both sides making some plays, but defenses maybe giving up a little bit and then forcing some punt situations.
Yeah, I mean, so far New Brunswick has the edge in terms of yardage, both on the ground and in the air against Team Alberta. Now, we know Team Alberta is explosive. They got some good quarterbacks. They got a good team. We expect that to balance itself out as we move and continue to move forward in this game.
George Arbez and Seth Polzer still in the backfield for Team Alberta. Arbez takes the snap, turns, hands it to Polzer. Nice lane on the left side. Lowers his shoulder and is going to be very close to a first down. That will move the chains.
That's a big run by Team Alberta. You always feel good when you get to run the ball for 10-plus yards. It's kind of a statement saying, hey, we can do this. Bailey family from New Ross, Ireland, watching a game today, cheering on Max, number 17 from Team Alberta.
Awesome. Love to hear that.
From Ireland. Love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is international broadcast.
Same backfield here for Team Alberta. Arbez in the gun. Takes a snap. Turns. Hands it that time to Polzer. Another nice run by Polzer, and that's going to be close to another first down.
Yeah, it's another nice inside zone run, and they've got a bit of a sub motion by the receiver there, so you've got to expect at some point the quarterback's going to pull it and throw it to the flat to his other running back or slot back, H-back type receiver. They're setting that play up for later.
So it's going to be 2nd and inches here for Team Alberta. We'll see maybe an opportunity for them to take a big play shot here, or if they'll just run the ball and get a first down. Polzer still in at running back here. Arbez takes the snap. He will turn and hand it to Polzer. That time met right away. Keeps his feet moving though, and that's going to be another Team Alberta first down.
As Alberta sets up here for the first down, we'll talk a little bit about sad happening in the world of football Alberta. Gino Castellan, who is, a little bit of a part of the founding members of the Football Canada Cup. He's been general manager for 25 years for this Football Canada U18. He 25 consecutive Canada Cups. Passed away earlier this year. Team Alberta is wearing on their jersey Gino's nickname, G-Money, on the jersey, and they're honoring him and everything he's done for the sport as a real pioneer of football, a real community leader for Team Alberta, and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder today in his memory.
Yes, at times the support staff maybe gets lost in things, but as a head coach myself of an amateur football program, I know how important the support staff is, all the way from equipment managers to the trainers, the medical staff, team managers, the board of directors, all those things that go into making these teams, these provinces, and sport organizations successful. It's not just the players and the coaches that make these teams run.
No, you're right. It takes full support systems to make these organization runs. I know my good old friend Simon LeBlanc, equipment manager at Mount Allison University. He's here with the U18 program. You're talking about a volunteer who gives his all, and all of these equipment managers, the athletic therapists, these are all people who do it for the love of the game, and they try to give back to the kids, and I think it's fantastic to see.
So great first quarter here. Team Alberta and Team New Brunswick tied at no score here. Alberta having a good drive on the ground. Seth Polzer out of Holy Trinity in Okotoks, Alberta, with some nice carries there. George Arbez takes the snap, looks to his left, quickly complete, right down right away by number 13 on the coverage. That's Aaron Alder, and number 11 with the reception, that's Darius Crandall.
That's a good pass, quick passing game on first down. It opens up the playbook now. It's 2nd and 4. We've got Cole Frank saying he loves Canadian amateur football. He's watching all the way from North Dakota. I mean, awesome. not so far from us, but from across the border where Canadian football
He should come down Saturday for the medal games. Come watch some football.
We will welcome you, Cole.
George Arbez takes it, hands off, flag down on the play. Looks like it's maybe an offside here call, but we'll wait and see what the officials call.
I'm expecting Alberta to keep running the ball in the middle with Team New Brunswick. 3 linebackers out today with illness, if you're just joining us. Some defensive backs are playing linebacker. Not an easy position for that front 7 of Team New Brunswick. They're going to have to find a way to stop the run, and if Alberta can continue to impose their will, it might be a long day for them. So far, 11 minutes and some change left in the second quarter. Team New Brunswick's done a good job limiting the Alberta gains, but I expect Alberta to keep running the ball.
It is an offside call against Team New Brunswick, so that is going to move the chains for another Team Alberta first down on this drive.
Stefan asking, where do we coach? I mean, Chris, we've coached very different levels. I know I started a new sport. I've coached a lot of women's football with Football Canada. We both coached together at Regina Riot. This is the elite women's football program in Regina, senior women's. You've coached a lot of high school as well, some Team Saskatchewan. We've done quite a bit. We just love being around the sport.
Yeah, we're thankful to be involved with the sport. Obviously, we just finished our season in the Western Women's Canadian Football League, so excited to be here announcing for this Canada Cup. First down there. Polzer looks to his right, has a receiver open, down on one knee. Looks like it's a catch. They will call him down there, though.
Love reading the chat, and Denis Doiron, nice previous teammate, current friend, giving me a shout out. I appreciate it. We miss you back home. Yeah, and I do miss back home. Now I'm getting a chance to be in New Brunswick in a couple of weeks, coaching the under-18 Indigenous Team Canada team. It's female football. They're playing in the national championship in Fredericton, New Brunswick. So I really look forward to being back home, my home province. Of course, you'll hear me talk about Team New Brunswick quite a bit because I am proud to have come from there and spent time on that staff, and it's nice to see them in this U18 Canada Cup.
Gets pressure on a play, fumble the ball there. That's going to be scooped up by number 8, Gilmore Allen on the play.
And the pressure from Landon from, is it Landon?
Yes.
Dingy from Harrison Trimble High. Yeah, fantastic play of Team New Brunswick as I'm trying to talk about my love for Team New Brunswick while a turnover happens. Absolutely wonderful.
Great job by that New Brunswick defense after giving up a few first downs here and moving the chains. The New Brunswick defense standing tall.
We got Let's Go Team New Brunswick all the way from Buffalo, New York. Did we just receive a donation on the YouTube channel?
Evan Stockman takes the hands off. He hands it off inside there. Nice run that time for New Brunswick. Number 15, Asher Beckley with the carry there, moving the chains after that turnover.
A really nice battle so far. We've got under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Both teams kind of playing within the 40-yard lines. Nobody's made their way to field goal range. Alberta had the best of the field position early on. New Brunswick now just over half.
See another freeze motion here.
Alberta doing a better job not jumping at the D-line position. I know they got away with one on third down earlier today.
Stockman in a quarterback. He'll take the snap, turn, hands it off inside, or sorry, play action to number 15 that time. Complete to Asher Beckley. Play action to Noah Crowley. That double-headed backfield there, dangerous. In the
a little bit of that zone shield, zone sub look, depending on the terminology you like to use, but essentially faking the handoff inside, trying to sucker the defensive end to be in and play the run while you throw the ball to your running back in the flats. Didn't get a ton of yardage on that, but it's a good way to open up the playbook.
So Stockman and the offense will look to the sideline for the play call here. Takes a snap, turns, hands it off. Play action that time, sorry. Has the boot outside. He's got pressured right away, and he's going to be brought down by the Alberta defensive line. That is Joseph Abu-Meshrik making another big play, his second of the day. Yeah,
big play for Team Alberta. They'll get the ball back here. It was important for them to do so as New Brunswick was getting a few first downs. It's been a great battle so far. Tell you what, both teams at 4 first downs. Both teams have rushed 8 times for 41 yards. It's quite comparable than what's happening on between offense and defense so far today.
Great pass rush by number 99, Cooper Troy. In the middle there, forcing Evan Stockman to have to scramble to his left, and Abu-Meshrik finishing him up there on the sack. Gilmore Allen gets this one away. Going to be caught in the air by number 11 for Team Alberta. Makes one person miss, makes another there. Heads towards the sideline. That is Darius Crandall with the return.
Good punt, good coverage. What we'd like to see, though, is for these punts to be a bit closer to the sideline. I think we're giving a lot of room to the Alberta returners to get some yards. Right now they have a little bit of an edge, I think, on special teams, but it's been a great battle so far.
It has. You know, we'll do our best up here at Mosaic Stadium. We talked about in the first game where, you know, almost 6 stories up from where the field is, so it's a little bit hard at times to see the numbers.
Yeah, we are. Let's talk about that. So Mosaic Stadium being a sunken bowl, the field level is 2 levels lower than the grade. So when you walk into the stadium, the field is below you, and we're 4 levels up. So yeah, 6 level difference. We don't see all the numbers that clearly, but we're doing our best with our binoculars.
Cohen Bowitt now in at quarterback for Team Alberta. Nice throw on the run there, complete to number 6. That's Liam Pisinin. Nice play for Team Alberta there.
And again, on the pronunciations, we'll do our absolute best. We don't have phonetic spelling, so if we make some mistakes, feel free to help us out in the chat. We've got a player down here. It's a defensive lineman from Mathieu Martin. That's Pascal Robichaud, being attended by the trainers. Well, Chris, I don't want to say surprised. I love that it's 0-0 with 7:45 left in the second quarter. Anytime you see a team that, you know, Team Alberta ranked 3rd, 11 returning players. Team New Brunswick with illnesses and injuries. I guess there's a part of me that thought Alberta might have a chance to go up early in this game, but not at all.
No, Team New Brunswick doing a great job on defense. They're giving up some yards, but forced a turnover there on that last drive, on that sack fumble. Team Alberta also having some good plays on defense. Very even game so far for this 3-6 matchup. Yeah,
the field position's the same. Yards per play, Team New Brunswick getting about 2.5 yards per play more in Alberta, so they're getting a bit of an edge on the offense versus defense battle. outside of the big return, on punt and kickoff for Team Alberta, I say Team New Brunswick is a little bit of an edge on Alberta. So right now, it's a great game. Questions about support for Canadian coaches. It's a work in progress at all times, right? You're seeing more and more universities finding fundings and programs. I'm seeing a lot of growth in the women's coaching side of things. A lot of OUA teams now have finances put aside for women coaches, and so that's really, really fantastic to see. You're seeing more and more paid positions, so that's kind of nice.
It is. We very lucky to have the national coaching certification program in Canada as well, the NCCP, that is a requirement for all high-level coaches, and I encourage any amateur coaches, youth coaches to take a look at that and take those learnings that you can take advantage of. They do a great job of introducing things that you need to be as a high-level coach.
Piccini is a pronunciation. Piccini, we're being told, as the comment gets deleted.
So, deep shot there, and it's caught on the play. That is caught by number 6. That's Liam Piccini right there on record. Flags down, believe that will be a PI, but that's a heck of a play there for Team Alberta.
Big play, it's the big chunk play we got. It's the first one today, kind of those plays that make a difference and really change the field position. It's a big time pitch and catch by Team Alberta. Now, they talked to us about having a deep receiving core, 2 very good quarterbacks. So we can't be that surprised.
Let's talk about their quarterback. Cohen Bowen comes in here on that first down play, makes a nice throw, and then another nice deep one there. It is penalties on both teams, though, here. Offside against Team Alberta and passing interference against Team Manitoba, so we'll see what the result is.
It's going to hurt Alberta. They're going to be the ones losing the most out of this exchange.
The official's not mic'd up here at Mosaic, so we're doing our best to hear from about 150 yards away, it feels like.
So that catch is nullified. Will not exist statistically speaking. It's 1st and 10 from Alberta's own 49-yard line. That's a big penalty.
Yeah, they'll replay this down here, it looks like. Team New Brunswick will take that one every day for sure.
We got some people watching from Florida as well.
Bonet in at quarterback still. Bonet, little play action there, gets it outside there. Nice play, brought down by number 10. That's Nathaniel Kinney on the coverage. Number 80 with the reception there for Team Alberta. That's Dylan Morin.
And that's that inside zone setup we talked about right before the exchange of quarters, where they do the play action inside and the motioning receiver who normally kicks out defensive end. He just continues on to the flats and they dump it off for a 7-8 yard gain. Both teams have utilized this play. It's a popular Canadian football play.
Bonet and Granum in the backfield for Alberta. 3 to his right, 2 to his left. He'll take the snap. Good snap on the play. Looks quickly to his left. Nice catch on the play there by the Alberta receiver. Breaks one tackle. Almost hit down the sideline. Nice play by Darius Crandall.
Nice quick game passing there. Some curl routes or hook routes, whatever you want to call them, from Team Alberta. An easy completion against zone coverage. It gets them a first down.
Brought down by number 7, Raymond Rulomba. Almost saved a touchdown there, because if Crandall breaks that tackle there, he's heading down the sideline. Bonet out of the George McDougall Mustangs football program in Rocky View County in Alberta. He'll take it. He's going to roll to his right that time. He has a few receivers options there. Hits number 11 again. That's Crandall. Breaks one tackle. Brought down there. Another good throw by Bonet.
Yeah, Team Alberta really doing a good job through the air right now. I was commenting on how maybe they should run the ball a lot with the New Brunswick linebackers being out with illness, but they're showing us that they can pass the ball quite well. Are we doing the Manitoba game too? Chris, we've just finished doing 4 games for the U16 tournaments. We're doing all 12 games for the U18 tournaments. My voice is already starting to feel coarse. We've got some ice cream in front of us, which has been quite helpful. And jokes aside, this has been super fun. But yes, we're doing all the games for this tournament.
For better or worse, right? Bonet in at quarterback still. Turns, hands it off to his running back. That's Ethan Granum. Keeps his feet moving, though, and gets closer to that line of scrimmage. Only gets maybe a yard, though, yard and a half.
We're going to start getting a taste here if they have a field goal kicker with a long leg or not, or even just a coaching philosophy that says we're going for it. But it looks like the offense is staying on 3rd and 2.5.
Liam Dickinson in on that tackle. You mentioned the ice cream. Shout out to Shade Magnus, one of our Regina Ride athletes, a former Team Sask under-18 female athlete football player here out of Tisdale. As Team Alberta is going to go for this on 3rd and 2, ball on the 35-yard line. Just under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Opponent will take it, turn, hand it off, keep it himself this time. Play action, looking for that throw. High ball though, and that's going to be a turnover on down. He had a receiver and just missed the throw.
Team New Brunswick in those red helmets from Tantramar, they're playing very physical out there. Alberta mentioned to us in pregame that they really wanted to be physical compared to last year, but I feel like New Brunswick has been bring the heat and playing really well on defense. It's been a great battle so far. What a fantastic game here on day one.
Stockman and Beckley now in the backfield for New Brunswick. We've seen a few different quarterbacks in this game, both teams using 2 so far. New Brunswick lining up with a tight end set this time to their right. Stockman will take it, turn, play action, RPO that time, keeps it himself, and maybe gets a yard or 2.
The unofficial mayor of Squiduk is also here today, Denis Doiron. Really nice to have you in the chat. How does one get into announcing Canada Cup? Well, I'll tell you, Chris.
That's a good question. If you know, let me know.
Yeah. I mean, we're here because we've been part of the game for a long time. We've got a good relationship with our friends at Football Saskatchewan. We're hosting this tournament. And yeah, we just love football. So, we kind of said we'd be willing to do it, and it's been fun. A couple of years now that we've been doing these types of tournaments.
Oliver Hicks now in a quarterback that throws out to the right. Leo Foster having a good game so far.
He sure has. They've been finding him a lot in the quick game, and it's been really good for Team New Brunswick as they regain all this field position that they had lost on Alberta's long drive.
You mentioned the announcing. It's definitely not something that we've gone out of our way to try and do, but we're fortunate enough to have done it for the first U18 women's tournament here at Mosaic a few years ago, and last year for the U16, and they brought us back this year, which is awesome. As we see Hicks still in a quarterback. He will hand it off to his running back. That's number 5 running the ball, Noah Crowley, but met right away at the line of scrimmage by a handful of Alberta players, including that number 40, Charles Beach.
Thanks for the kind comments, Cam and Kelly. We're getting some recognition here for talking about female football. It's been one of the quickest growing segments of our sport. Flag football has done a lot for the sport last few years. Women's football for sure. We're now seeing a lot of Indigenous football programs as well. I know I'm going to have a chance to be part of that firsthand in a couple of weeks in Fredericton, New Brunswick. No, it's been Football Canada has been a success story the last few years with tremendous growth.
And it looks like it might be a procedure or a time count here. We'll wait and see what the officials call, but it might end up being second and even longer here for Team New Brunswick.
Well, Team New Brunswick getting a lot of positive out of their no-huddle check-with-me offense. They get a chance to see how the other team's lined up and get the right play call in. One of the negatives is that it can drag into the play clock, and once in a while you get caught. And just an example here of losing 5 yards, maybe based on because of how the offense is built. More often than not, it's placed to your favor, but it's going to happen once in a while.
You mentioned the women's coaching. Obviously, you and I have both been coaching female athletes, female football players now for, I think I'm on year 14, and you're very similar as well, right? Yeah,
I started at the Fredericton Lady Gladiators back in the day, and I've been fortunate enough to coach with our women's national team. Went to Finland twice on international tournaments. It's been very, very nice, and we're waiting to see, I think the national tournament might be coming next year at the Football Canada, where each province will play, and then the IFAF World Championship the following year is what we're anticipating or expecting. It's been good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that senior national tournament, of course. They picked the coaching staff many years ago when the tournament was supposed to happen, and then, of course, we had COVID, and hoping to be on that staff again as the defensive coordinator. Very lucky to have such a great coaching staff here in Sask for female football, great athletes as well. Of course, you mentioned Team Canada. That's coming up again in another couple of years, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Busy few weeks, Canada Cup, Maritime Championship, Atlantic Bowl.
Indigenous.
There's also U16. Yeah. There was also the Indigenous Challenge. There's also the Flag Nationals. It's a busy season for Football Canada. I can only imagine how the employees are feeling right now. It's traveling from province to province, tournament to tournament. It's a lot of work and a lot of time away from home.
So just a bit of a delay here for the officials, just making sure everything is good to go. It is a time count, so 2nd and 12 now for Team New Brunswick. Ball on the 44-yard line. Oliver Hicks still in at quarterback. Hicks will take the snap. He's going to look quickly to his left. He's going to take a deep shot there. Hangs up in the air a little bit. Receiver does a good job to come back for it, but falls incomplete.
Good shot. You got to take one once in a while. On a 2nd and long, they're going to their field wide out, the one-on-one with the field corner. I think it's a nice play call. Just couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, coverage on the play by number 15, Kapanga James, intended for Jack Donahue.
Serge Book making me smile. One of my old coaches, a great offensive line coach out of Dieppe or Moncton, New Brunswick now. Really nice to see you in the chat. I know you're cheering for your team, New Brunswick, and some of the kids that you coach. Thanks for being there.
Gilmore Allen set to punt this one away. 2 returners back for Team Alberta.
Keep the comments and dialogue going. Makes it fun for us, and I hope you appreciate it back at home.
Gets a real nice punt away. That's going to land around the 32-yard line. Good job by the Alberta returner catching that in the air. That's number 32, David Okoya. And nice job on both special teams units there. Yeah, beautiful punt. That's where you want it to be, between the numbers and the out-of-bounds marker, limiting the opportunity for Alberta to return. That said, Alberta returner catching that cleanly, getting as many yards as he can. His offense will take over now, close to midfield. Number 16, Jack Hughes out of St. Stephen High. They're pushing Okoya out of bounds. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the first half in what's been a great football game so far. 3 versus 6. Cohen Bonnet still in at quarterback. He's got Seth Polzer beside him in the backfield. Bonnet takes it, turns, hands it off to Polzer that time. He's got a lead blocker, makes the cut, finds that hole, breaks another tackle, and that's going to move the chains for an Alberta first down.
Yeah, statistically speaking, it's absolutely incredible. Both teams now have 101 yard of offense. It's an almost equal in the run-pass category between both teams. It's been an even matchup. We've had a few turnovers on down and a fumble recovery, but this game has been played around the midfield mark. Both teams trying. They're getting first downs, having the punt. This has been a great close game. We don't see a lot of tight games in day 1 of Canada Cup because we see more blowouts. We see more teams that are ranked very high against teams that are not ranked so high. This has been a treat.
When it takes it, turns, hands it off to Polzer that time, makes a cut there. Nice hard run for him, keeps his feet moving, and that's going to be another first down for Team Alberta.
Polzer is now 9 for 64 on the ground. He's one of the good bright spots of the Alberta team, and I think we're going to expect him to get the ball even more.
Finally brought down on the play by number 92, Will Warman. Olivia, I'll let you pronounce that high school in that hometown.
He's in Quispamsis, New Brunswick, my friend. Quispamsis, a beautiful town.
Bonnet takes it, turns, hands it off to Polzer. Another hole up the middle there. Breaks another tackle, and that's going to be another first down run for Polzer. He's going to keep moving the chains.
Thank you, Kyle and Pat and everybody with the kind comments. Chris, the crowd loves us right now. They're all kind and generous to us.
That's good. Are you ignoring the bad comments? I can't see the screen, so you could totally be avoiding those, and I wouldn't have any idea. We'll see here if they keep it on the ground. Bonnet takes it, turns, keeps it himself this time, looks to his left. He takes the deep shot. He has number 9 open, and that's going to be dropped for the touchdown. That was a beautiful throw by Cohen Bonnet, but falls incomplete.
It really is. This is good football. We saw a defensive back that got beat, and a lot of young players will turn and try to find the ball, but instead, obviously well coached, good discipline, just keep sprinting. He's looking for the receiver's hands, making it as difficult as he can for that receiver. We're really seeing some good football here. Emma, when will the stats be available online? They are available right now. The challenge that we have is that if we put a link into the stats, just from a spam point of view, the link will disappear right away. So I can't send you the link. It is on regenarams.com. I think you got to go / sidearm stats, and you're going to hopefully find this. I'm going to try to see if I can't help you guys out in the chat here.
While Olivia's doing that, we have an injured player down for Team New Brunswick as he's getting helped off the field here. We see our good friend Jillian Gilmore. Had the pleasure of meeting and working with her as the Team New Brunswick Senior Women's Team Liaison back in, I can't remember, was that 2016 here in Regina?
Oh, it was a while ago.
It's a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to see familiar faces. We talked about this in the first broadcast this morning, but these Canada Cups, to me, they're celebration of the sport, of amateur sport from coast to coast. We have, again, teams all the way from Nova Scotia to BC. It is coast to coast, and we get to see people we haven't seen in a while, talk to people we haven't talked in a while, and it's a real celebration of our game, and it's fun to be part of it.
So 2nd and 10 now for Team Alberta. Minute 23 left here in the first half. When it takes it, turns, hands it off to Polzer, has to hit the sideline there, makes a cut there. Nice job there, turning him in as number 10. But Polzer just keeps moving his feet, and he will not be stopped on first contact.
Ding.
Third and 1 now for Team Alberta. When it takes it, fumble on the snap. We'll see who comes away with it. I think he was able to fall on it himself. We don't see anyone celebrating one way or the other yet here, though.
It's signaled first down, Team Alberta. That's a close one with a minute 8 left in the half. That's a big deal.
That's going to give Team Alberta a good chance of putting some points up here before the end of the first half. It's been a great game so far. It might be no score, but not for lack of exciting plays.
No, it's been great football so far. Chico Bonetta. Jillian is the best. Yes, she is.
She is the best.
You know, we talk about volunteers and people who give back to the sport, and we need all of them to make this work.
Timeout here, Team New Brunswick. We had a chance to meet with Jillian before the game in the tunnel there. She's working incredibly hard. You know, they don't bring a huge medical staff here, and it's usually one trainer with some help from maybe the assistant coaches or the managers on the teams, and she's doing a great job as well as all the other trainers here at the tournament.
No, absolutely. And being a team trainer in these types of tournaments, you know, your athletes only get 2 days to recover between games. You know you're going to be banged up. You're going to have a lot of work to do between taping and trying to work with these athletes and tell these young athletes to have the proper nutrition and to hydrate up. We haven't talked much about the weather today, but I'm sure it looks beautiful on the broadcast. It is sunny out here. There's not much of a wind, and it feels, I'm not going to say warm, very hot on the turf.
It is hot. Obviously, the turf adds some temperature there. Both teams doing a good job managing the heat so far. In the first game, we saw Team Ontario have a bit of an advantage in the shade with the way the sun worked here at Mosaic, but now we're at midday and the sun's right above us, so the whole field is covered. Shout out to the athletic therapist for Team Alberta, Melissa Petrina. Saw her working hard before and during the game as well, both doing a great job. As it is now 1st and 10, 1 minute left here on the clock. Timeout, Team New Brunswick. The time will stop until the snap. When he takes it, turns, he's going to look. Deep shot here to number 11. He has him open, and that's going to be a touchdown, Team Alberta, for Darius Crandall.
Beautiful pitch and catch. He found his open receiver on the sideline. That's a great drive by Team Alberta and a nice touchdown to end this first half. There's only 55 seconds left. That was a big one for Team Alberta.
We've seen Bonnet come in and throw some beautiful balls so far. That time he's able to connect for the 25-yard score to Crandall. That's got to be one of his favorite targets so far today.
Yes, indeed. The stats page is quite fast updating. It is live stats and doing a great job. There's a lot of people working up here as we're looking at the 4th level at Mosaic Stadium. I look to my left. We've got 3 camera operators. We look to our right. We've got a ton of people doing stats and all sorts of things. We've got referee evaluations. We've got the coaches in the booth. We're having a blast, and yeah, it is a superb team.
Ira Hozak in to kick this extra point. Snap is down and up and good. So Hozak's kick is good and will give Team Alberta a 7-0 lead here over Team New Brunswick. 55 seconds left here in the first half.
Now, I have to mention this because it's kind of hard to notice, but this extra point went 7 rows into the stands, which is important to note because that tells us he's got a leg that maybe can make some 40, 45-yard field goals here on the turf today.
Yeah, well, we had the opportunity in Game 1 to see the kicker for Team Ontario had a cannon for a leg. And, you know, we talked about it the other day where we love doing the U16 tournament, but we were also looking forward to seeing the older athletes and the level of football that is going to happen in this Canada Cup.
Okay, Chris, if you're Team New Brunswick and you get a decent return here, you'll have about 45 to 50 seconds. You haven't had any big explosive plays. Your offense is kind of running 6-7 yards at a time. It's been a good offense, but what do? Are you going to take some shots? Do you stick to what you normally do?
We'll see what they do. I mean, they have had the opportunity for some shots. I think, though, they might be content maybe running the ball here. They don't have any timeouts, so that will make it a little bit tougher for New Brunswick here to end this half.
Looks like we're about set up and ready to go.
Kozak getting set up to kick this one away.
Aiming to his left.
Ball's away. The whistle, though, blown. We'll see here maybe something not set up here, a timeout. Time count, ball not kicked in time. We don't see that too often on kickoffs.
That is a rare call. That means the official must have clearly whistled it in, asked the kicker to go, and I noticed also the official waited a good second before throwing that flag. So it clearly was. It's a rare call in Canadian amateur football, but Alberta will just do it all again from 5 yards further.
Yeah, Rob Isbister gave him a chance to get that one away, but there's only so much leniency you can give on time counts. So that's going to back them up now to the 35-yard line. Might change the return here for Team New Brunswick now. Obviously backed up a little bit here.
Yeah, Team Alberta kicker taking the same steps, aiming to his left once again.
And that is caught there by Mateo Embo. He's going to try and take the field side return. Cuts up there, finds a lane, going to keep his feet moving, breaks another tackle, and now New Brunswick is set up to put some points up here before half.
And the clock is still running here at Mosaic Stadium. I'm not sure. Okay, they stopped at the 50-second mark, which makes a lot of sense. I think they might have started late. So we got 50 seconds to go in this half. A good return by Team New Brunswick. It's kind of what we just talked about. Now you get in position. Are you going to try to take some shots here with no timeouts left before the half?
Yeah, if I'm New Brunswick, I'm definitely trying to get some points on the board here before the end of the first half. 50 seconds left, no timeouts though. Now they are no huddle offense, so they will be able to go fast. Oliver Hicks in at quarterback here for New Brunswick for this drive. Asher Beckley, his running back. Hicks takes it, looks to pass. He looks quickly to his left, going to take that deep shot there, but no one there. He was looking for his receiver in the slot, I believe number 5, Noah Crowley, but not there on the play.
Now, we have 3 Hicks. We mentioned Oliver Hicks, the quarterback. There's 3 Hicks from Tantramar High School on this regional high, pardon me, on this team, but to our understanding, not family.
Yeah, and you said they go to the same school, right?
Same high school.
Is that a common thing in New Brunswick?
Some Acadian names, absolutely.
So time stopped here as the incomplete pass. Hicks turns, takes the snap, hands it off that time. That's not going to go anywhere. So interesting here. I thought New Brunswick might stay in the air, though. They trying to get some points up, but now they're going to have to make a decision and probably punt this one away.
Yeah, 3rd and 10 with Team Alberta taking a timeout. There's going to be 41 seconds left. The safe thing to do is to punt the ball here. The aggressive thing to do, obviously, were to try to find a way to go for it. But I think it looks like Coach Colangelo is going to make the decision to punt this one out. Where is Riverview QB? Well, let's take a look at the roster.
We've seen a couple of different QBs for Team New Brunswick. Evan Stockman and Oliver Hicks.
Yeah, there's 3 quarterbacks on this roster, all from the southeast region of New Brunswick. They play against each other in high school.
We have not seen Hazen Rossiter yet.
No, but all these teams are full of depth, right? These are the best players, of their age categories in each province. There's some very good players who may not see the field as much in these tournaments, and it's just because, it is the best of the best.
So Team Alberta using a timeout here. 3rd and 9. Team New Brunswick getting ready to punt this one away. 40 seconds left here. We've seen good special teams play from both sides. Some nice punts so far from Gilmore Allen. We'll see he's probably going to try and just pin this one deep out of bounds.
Yeah, if I'm a special teams coordinator, I'm telling them make sure there's no return on this one. You don't want to give Alberta any chance at a big play before the half. They've got the 7-zip lead, and they want to keep it that way.
Crandall and Okoye back there to return for Alberta. It will be punted to Crandall's side. A nice punt that time, and that's going to go out of bounds around the 25-yard line. We'll see where they mark it.
But we did call it. They definitely aimed to get that ball out of bounds, make sure there was no return. It went probably further out of bounds than he wanted to, but he launched that ball in the air. That was a nice punt.
Yeah, so it's marked out of bounds at the 22-yard line, so that's where Team Alberta will take over. 34 seconds left, no timeouts. Now we've seen Cohen Bonnet come in and make some real nice deep throws. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and take some shots here.
34 seconds to go, one timeout. They've got 108 yards to go. My math is completely wrong. 98 yards to go.
There you go, yeah.
With Team New Brunswick playing with a couple of deep safeties.
And Team Alberta is just going to hand this one off inside to their stud running back, one of their stud running backs, Ethan Granham, and gets a big chunk of yards on that play, getting all the way to the 45-yard line. Team Alberta might want to take a few shots now.
Well, now with 25 seconds to go, Team New Brunswick kind of saying, I don't want you to pass on me. I'm going to play deeper. Team Alberta takes advantage, runs it up the gut. Yeah, Alberta has some options with 25 seconds left.
They're going to have to be lined up quick here. Time will start now. Time running. Some confusion on the formation there for Alberta. Now Bonnet will turn and look. He's going to try and scramble himself. Sets his feet. Throws this one deep. There's a flag down. And that was going to fall incomplete here, but we'll see what the call is.
2 flags down. It looks like there's an offside on Alberta. There might be a defensive holding or something in the secondary for Team New Brunswick. These penalties may nullify each other. 11 seconds to go.
So Olivier, very, very good game so far. One-score game.
This is amazing.
We talked about before, we don't know what to expect day one of this Canada Cup. So real excited to see a good football game here in our second game.
Yeah, it really is. We don't always expect super close games on day one of Canada Cup. There are some teams who are, Team Alberta ranked third and third best in the whole country. New Brunswick, smaller population. You don't expect this to be that close. We saw Nova Scotia earlier today against Ontario. That game was, final score was in the 60s, right, to 0. So it was tougher for Nova Scotia to hang on. New Brunswick doing what they can here, and honestly, they're very much so in this game, absolutely capable of winning.
So it was a legal contact and an offside. So Team New Brunswick, it's going to be repeat now, 1st and 10 here for Team Alberta. 11 seconds left here at the end of the first half. When it takes it, looks to pass, looks to his right. He's going to have to avoid a defender there. Takes a deep shot. He has a receiver, but it hangs up there. And receiver does a great job to catch that, but out of bounds.
What a fantastic play. Quarterback kind of stepped up in the pocket and let it launch as high and deep as he could. Found his receiver who, as you said, Chris, made a great catch. He just landed out of bounds.
Yeah, David Okoye doing a nice job there to try and come down with that one. He tried to sell it to the officials there. We'll see on the replay. He definitely caught that one out of bounds, but does a nice job to even come down with that one.
5 seconds left. Probably looking at another type of Hail Mary play. The challenge now is, even once you catch it, you better score. Odds are it'll be zeros on the clock after this next play.
Yeah, chances of some trickery, you think, or maybe just set up a screen with blockers in front.
It's a difficult place to be 60 yards from the end zone with one last play in the half. But yeah, we'll see what Alberta dials up here.
Bonnet and Polzer in the backfield. And offside on New Brunswick on the play, so they're going to have a free play here for Team Alberta, and that's just thrown complete there to number 80. If I'm New Brunswick here, Team Alberta is going to have to make a decision. Are they going to take this penalty and get another play? Or
yeah, they have no choice here but to accept, otherwise a half will be done. So Team Nova Scotia will have one more chance with zeros on the clock from the 55-yard line this time instead of 60 yards away.
Caught by number 80, Dylan Morin, but that one will not count as we expect them to accept the penalty, as it is an offside against the Team New Brunswick defensive line.
Jason, I think you're on to something there with your comment, if my memory serves me well.
So ball will move up 5 yards, and Team Alberta will have another chance here. Zeros on the clock. One of the beauty of Canadian football, even though there was a penalty, and Team Alberta is actually going to take another time out here, is you still get another play if there's time left and it winds down to 0, unlike American football, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had a chuckle, you and I, doing the U16 gold medal game yesterday. And as we start this U18 tournament, I'll take the chances and say that most of you were not on the webcast, so we'll talk about this again. Canadian football, plenty of amazing rules, lots of rules that allow us to have some trickery, some motion, some movement, very helpful to the offense, right, a wider field. But the one item that made us laugh yesterday in U16, because it came into play about 3 plays in a row, is that there's uprights in the middle of the field.
Yeah, we saw Team Manitoba have a chance at getting a touchdown there, and unfortunately the ball, I think it was Owen Parker in a quarterback, just hit the right upright. And it was a nice throw. It probably would have been an easy touchdown if it didn't hit it.
But I'll take my uprights on the field and stick to Canadian football. I think it's a beautiful game.
You're a kicker, so of course you'll take the closer uprights. That helps you, right? So Alberta here getting another chance. Last play of this half, pending a penalty. Cohen Bonet in at quarterback here. He'll take the snap. He'll look to throw. He's going to look to his right there. Steps up in the pocket, finds a receiver in the middle, but that one's just going to fall incomplete and bring us to the end of the first half. Team Alberta leading Team New Brunswick 7-0 in what's been a great football game, and we'll be back after the half.
Hey, Todd with Public Relations. Sean's going to come here to talk to the team in Brunswick. Sean. Yeah, next time.
Oh, I have one Instagram. The last booth. So, oh yeah. You can take over mine.
Lots of really positive comments. Yeah, that helped them over, but like it's more. Good time. The liveliest game we've had all week. Doesn't stop.
Because of conference realignment today, California will travel a combined 24,000 miles for 5 road games.
That's way more than you're doing. I don't compare it with.
Yeah, the circumference of the Earth is 24 miles. 5 road games. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of our Game 2 here at the 2024 Football Canada Cup between New Brunswick and Alberta. Alberta leading this one 7-0. Olivier, we had a lively halftime, I believe. Lots of discussions at half, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. We're having fun up here, and you guys are having fun at home. I'm reading the comments. Coach Dickinson, somebody I've played football with, absolute speedster. Nice to hear from you, and getting some messages from Coach Perkin and Coach Tate. It's really, really nice. My friend Carly as well sending a message. It's really nice to hear from all of you guys. The halftime show could have been a Denis Doiron time to shine, but the halftime show really was pizza. All of us here at the booth, and I'm looking left, right, and center. There's a lot of us volunteers up here and staff. We all rushed over to get some pizza because it's a long day. It's 4 games. We go back to back to back to back, and a little break in between, trying to get some conversation with some of the coaches here so we can rattle them off in the booth. But we all rushed to the pizza. So the real halftime show for us was pizza. Now, as we get ready to go, we're joined here by John Wilkinson from Football New Brunswick. John, welcome to Regina.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what are your thoughts so far on the game?
I'm really proud of this group. I've been telling people this is a special group, one of the best teams we've put together in a long time, and some of my own buddies gave me a chuckle when I said we'd be competitive with Alberta, but proof's in the pudding, and we're down a few guys right now, and the boys are still fighting hard. The guys are stepping up, and they're doing their job, so hopefully we keep this up and we sneak out of here with a W.
Yeah, I mean, look, Team New Brunswick is playing really well. We're looking at the stats. Outside of the last 2 minutes of that first half, it was equal in almost every department.
Yeah.
You're seeing 2 good football teams. And this Alberta team, not a bad team at all. 11 returning players. That's much more than Ontario. They had 3 returning players. Much more than, who do we see play Ontario earlier today?
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, also 3 returning players. So this Team Alberta team is full of veterans. And Team New Brunswick with running back with an ACL injury, some linebackers not playing today.
Yep.
They've really played well.
They are, and you know what? It's all the culture. We're taking a page out of Saskatchewan's book, and it starts with the culture. We've got a great staff with FNB, great coaching staff, and we're all working hard to really build up the football culture in New Brunswick.
Yeah, it's something you can definitely be proud of.
Yeah.
As we get ready here for Alberta, they're going to kick off first to Team New Brunswick. Brunswick being right to left on our end, going from south towards north to start this third quarter. So, John, you and the team, you arrived here on Friday, got a chance to get settled in University of Regina. How are the boys in the airport and and on campus?
Oh, they're having fun, man. I mean, we're here for business, don't get me wrong, but for a lot of these guys, it's the first time they've left. Some of them have left New Brunswick, others first time they left the Maritimes, first time on a flight. They had fun in Pearson on the layover. So got a little excited there.
And as you should, and a great return from New Brunswick. They're going to start off near midfield here, one of their best starting field position of the day.
Well, yeah, so the boys are having fun, but like I said, we're here for business, locked in, and we've already dealt with some adversity, but this group's, the staff has prepared this group for adversity, right? We come into this tournament, we know our history, we know what people think of us, and we're ready here for whatever challenges we face.
That's wonderful as we see the Harrison Trimble quarterback here back for Team New Brunswick taking the snap. And once again, the check with me cadence. They're going to take a look at the sideline and see what's the best call.
Olivia, I got to tell you, that's my boy Hazen. That's a Riverview quarterback right there.
So it's Hazen who gets in. The crowd has been asking for Hazen. We've been seeing some comments, let him cook Hazen, they're saying on the cheer. So now they're going to get their first chance to see what Hazen can do out there. So what kind of quarterback is Hazen?
Well, so I coach at Riverview High, actually, where Hazen plays out of. And it's not very often we get a quarterback, 6'5", 6'6", right? And Hazen's an interesting guy. He's kind of got that linebacker mentality. He's a big hoorah guy, gets the boys fired up, but still a quarterback at the end of the day, and
delivers an absolute strike. It is well covered by Team Alberta, but a great delivery and a deep ball there. It's going to force New Brunswick into a 3rd and long and a punting situation, but right away we see the impact that he has. He's stretching this game a little bit more what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, and Hazen's we've worked on it with him, is just kind of like keeping calm and forgetting the past one play at a time, and I've seen so much growth in this guy over the process of selecting this team and then practicing together. So excited to see what he can do here, and I'm also pretty excited to see what he does for us in the fall.
Well, John, it's good to have you on the broadcast. Your friends back at home, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi and Owen Weir already saying good job. Our boy Wilkie, good to have him on the broadcast. We're seeing you're a great coach. As we see an outstanding punt landing out of bounds on a 22-yard line. What great field position exchange. This is the deepest that Alberta will start off in this entire game, deepest in their own end. Well, thank you, John. Great to have you. Enjoy the entire tournament. I know we'll run into each other later, and as you give your headset back to my colleague Chris Haddisbeck, it's been good to have you in the booth for our first interview of U18 Canada Cup.
Hope I did all right. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you.
And hi to Murphy and hi to Marissa. I love you both.
Well done, well done. You got to get that in.
So George Arbez in at quarterback for Alberta. Takes a snap, looks to pass. He's going to take a deep shot right away over the middle. He has his receiver, number 11. Nice catch on the play. Spins off a defender. Keeps his feet moving. Great job by Darius Crandall. He's having a great game.
Almost feel like both teams at halftime are kind of going like, okay, enough of feeling each other out with our 3-4 yards past dink and dunk. We're going to go ahead and throw some deep ones to start the second half, and Team Alberta connects on their first pass.
So we haven't seen George Arbez in a while, and he decides to take a strike right away. Nice pass to Crandall, the best receiver on the field so far today. Arbez going to keep it. He's going to throw it that time to number 80. Nice catch on the play. Nice play design there. Play little RPO option. Dylan Morin coming down and moving the chains again.
Again, that zone sub, zone shield action, whatever you want to call it back at home, where the running back and the quarterback have a bit of a decision there to make, and that QB kind of did a good job showing run, and then last second pulling up and finding his receiver in the flats.
So Arbez leading a nice drive here for Team Alberta. Their first drive of the second half. Ball on the 25-yard line of Team New Brunswick already. Arbez will take it. Look, quick pass that time to the left, complete to number 9. That's Alden Bilibegovic with another catch for him today. I believe that's his 3rd or 4th.
Just out of the reach of defensive back Nathaniel Kinney at a St. Stephen's High School in Fredericton area, pardon me. Who am I kidding? I'm reading the roster here. I'm looking at the wrong list. St. Stephen's is in St. Stephen's, New Brunswick. Just out of his reach, trying to make a play on that quick receiver screen.
Arbez takes a snap, hands it off this time to his running back upside, breaks one tackle, gets a few yards on the play. That's Seth Bolzer, who had a great first half for Team Alberta.
It's a big drive for Alberta here, starting the second half. It's almost like they had a discussion at halftime and went, wait a second, like we can move the ball on these guys. So they're going to try to go out here and take a 2-score lead early and kind of change the momentum of this game, because if you're Team New Brunswick, you felt pretty good at halftime, and Alberta's trying to take that away from them.
Landon Dingy, the D-line out of Harrison Trimble there on the tackle. Arbez and Polzer in the backfield. Arbez motions forward, takes the snap, turns, looks to his left right away. Receiver covered there. He's going to have to run, scramble. He has a receiver open, but gets tackled there in the backfield for a sack by New Brunswick.
That's number 9, Landon Dingy, who has been playing very well. We've seen him in the backfield a few times. He's one of the returning players for Team New Brunswick, the Harrison Trimble product. Fantastic play. New Brunswick needed a big stop there. Now it's 2nd and long, and they're going to have a chance to maybe force a field goal and not concede 7.
So ball placed on the 15-yard line now.
We said a good look at Dingy, who's been playing outstanding so far today.
George Arbez takes the snap, looks to throw, looks to his right. He has a receiver there, but out of the outstretched hands of that receiver, and that's going to force a 3rd down now as the field goal team comes on for Alberta.
We've been told Ding-E, and then I've been told Din-G.
We can just keep changing it every time. And
Landon has been playing very well.
Landon has been playing very well.
Number 9, Landon. He's been playing well.
Yeah, we started with Dingy, then we thought we got corrected, and now we're being recorrected.
We're back to it. Either way, outstanding job by the young athlete. Okay, 23-yard field goal from the left hash.
Ira Hozak, we saw his big leg on that extra point attempt here, so distance obviously not an issue here. Nice snap, gets that one up there, and it's going to be wide to the left. New Brunswick's going to try and get this out to the 1. He's going to be tackled there, so Team Alberta's going to come away with the rouge. But Team New Brunswick defense got to be happy with the result there.
Yeah, you do. I mean, Team Alberta came out of the half slinging, right? A 30-yard completion, then marched all the way down. You then get that big step by our friend Landon. And then the missed field goal. It keeps it a 1-score game. It's 8-0.
Yeah, obviously giving up that big play early, but New Brunswick defense settling in, making a nice play on that sack on 2nd down, close to their own end zone, and forcing a field goal attempt which goes wide. So they'll give up the single point, but start now on the 35-yard line.
New Brunswick rotating a lot of quarterbacks in. It's Oliver Hicks coming back in from Tantramar.
Hicks and Crowley in the backfield right now for New Brunswick. Hicks takes the snap, looks to pass, QB draw that time, but met right away by that Alberta D-line, and he's not going anywhere there. Maybe a small half-a-yard gain on the play.
There was room, but that D-line just kind of said, not right now, I'm going to take you down. And what seemed to have been possibly a 4 or 5-yard gain got stopped for 1.
Cooper Troy out of the Harry Ainley football program there, making a nice play. School we're very familiar with.
Watching from Risfield in Ohio. We have a lot of Americans from different states watching, as well as our friends from Ireland today, so that's kind of nice.
Hicks takes the snap, has that jet motion coming across, and he hands it off. Fumble on the play, picked up in the backfield by the Alberta defensive lineman. That's Ben Hayden, and that's a great job by the defensive player to get that scoop and almost score.
Yeah, big mistake by Team New Brunswick on offense. They've been playing so well, and Alberta capitalizes on it. Now they're in great field goal, on great scoring position, on the 10-yard line, at middle between the hashes. It's Alberta's opportunity to go up 2 scores.
What I love there about what Ben Hayden did is he didn't just fall on it, right? The ball's on their side of half. That's the score zone. Pick that up and try and score. He gets a big return now. Ball's on the 10. Great job by the defensive lineman. Arbez still in at quarterback for Alberta. Ethan Granham in the backfield beside him. Arbez communicating, motioning that H back to his right. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out that way now. Has a receiver open. Catches at the 5. Has to make a person miss. He's going to be brought down. We'll see where they mark it. He outstretched the ball. But looks like they're going to mark it right at that 1-yard line.
Yeah, and Alberta really starting to show their power here. They've had a strong first drive. Now they get the turnover on New Brunswick's first drive or second drive of the half, and they have a chance to punch it in here and take a 15-point lead.
Liam Piccini with the reception there for Team Alberta. As we see a timeout on the field for an injured Team New Brunswick player, the DB on that play.
Now, no substitution for Team Alberta. They're going to stick with their regular offense here on 2nd and goal from the 1. Lots of teams like to bring in some bigger packages for these situations, but Alberta's going to stick to their regular lineup. In these tournaments, Chris, is it difficult to have everything you want to have into an offense, a defense, special teams, given kind of the quick turnaround?
I think so. You know, some teams have the opportunity to practice more than others. You know, being in Saskatchewan or even New Brunswick, you can speak on that. They might have the opportunity to practice as a whole team more than maybe teams like Ontario, BC, you know, the bigger provinces that have trouble getting players together.
Yeah, that's one of the things for Team Alberta I think is challenging. They've got players from all over the place, but they did get here in Regina earlier than most teams. They were here on July 3rd, which is a good 2 days earlier than Team New Brunswick and 2 days earlier than almost any other province. They wanted to get some extra practices together, extra time together. I mean, provinces can choose to practice at home, right, or to get together in the host city. So Alberta went with, you know, being here a bit earlier, and maybe that helps them have a more cohesive group. Because it is a challenge when you're trying to practice with players that are from all sorts of different programs, different coaching backgrounds.
As we see number 23, Santiago Vincent, being walked off with the Team New Brunswick training staff.
So I might have been mistaken here as I see 6 offensive linemen on the field. So a bit of a jumbo look. Alberta having 8 players on the line of scrimmage right now. Not illegal, but pardon me, that tight end's off the line. Quarterback sneak.
Arbez comes up and takes the snap under center that time. Flags down on the play. Believe it is an offside, but I don't see a ref calling for a touchdown there. I thought he got in.
I thought he got in as well. There's a pretty quick whistle and a flag thrown right away. I thought I saw 8 players on the line of scrimmage, then a tight end kind of backing up last second. Penalty seems to be going to go against Team New Brunswick. It'll be first and goal from the 1.
We saw a big number 97's helmet come off there. It is an offside, though, against Team New Brunswick, so it's going to remain first down.
Alberta having a very strong third quarter. Not the same that we saw in the first half. It was very equal. Alberta really taking advantage of their halftime break. Clearly the general manager has some good oranges and muffins for the kids because they came out firing in this third quarter.
So Arbez back in at quarterback, comes under center that time. Offside again, the call. This time we'll see if they call him in. He looks like he's in from up here, and he is. That is a Alberta touchdown. We'll just wait for the call to confirm. And that touchdown will stand. George Arbez getting the 1-yard QB sneak touchdown for Team Alberta.
The Team Alberta fans, I feel like, are feeling a sigh of relief as they were a little bit quiet in the first half, and they're starting to come alive here with their loud horns, and they've traveled well to this tournament.
For sure, love seeing all the fans and family in the stands here at Mosaic Stadium in Regina.
Watching from Fairbanks, Alaska. Let's go NB.
Ira Hozak set to kick an extra point here. Snap down, kick up. Kick is good, landing in the second row of the stands here in Mosaic. And that extra point attempt is good. Team Alberta leading Team New Brunswick here, 5 minutes, 41 seconds left in the third quarter.
Okay, 15 zip. You know, you're ranked number 3, Team Alberta. You had a slower first half, probably compared to what you imagined, right? You might have thought, hey, we're playing number 6 New Brunswick, maybe we'll take an early lead. It wasn't the case. But clearly they come up very strong in the third quarter. On the other side, Team New Brunswick, you know, very solid first half, had a challenging last 5-6 minutes with the turnover and the long drives. You got to answer back right now.
They do. We saw a big return to start the second half, though, from number 3, Mateo Embo. So we'll see if he can get another big return here to give his offense a chance. We saw a few different quarterbacks now in the game for New Brunswick, so we'll see who they come out with. They've all had varying degrees of success. Both all have some different styles as well. Hozak getting ready to kick this one off. That's going to land around the 15-yard line, caught in the air by Embo. He's going to catch that, and he doesn't have anywhere to go that time, though. Brought down right away, just over the 25-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see who New Brunswick comes out of their quarterback here. They've played all 3 so far. Everybody seems to be playing very well. Ross Scissor is playing a little bit less than the others. I think he's the one trotting on here. We saw his arm strength on that second drive, for Team New Brunswick in this quarter. We'll see what they cook up for him here.
Yeah, Hazen Ruster in at quarterback, along with Noah Crowley behind him at running back. Rossiter motions, takes the snap, fakes it to Crowley, quick pass on his right, caught there, makes one man miss, and then brought down. Good gain of 6 on the play.
And there you go, New Brunswick now, 6 of 9 passing, very respectful percentage-wise at this level of football. All 3 QBs doing a great job. Good for them having a bunch of options to go to.
Leo Foster with another reception on the day there. I believe that's his 5th or 6th, Olivier, correct?
His 4th today for roughly 60 yards.
See the New Brunswick O-line pointing out the blitzing defender here. Asher Beckley now in it, running back beside Ruster. Ruster looks to Foster's side. That's going to fall incomplete. So Team New Brunswick's going to have a tough decision here on 3rd and 2.
Hey, 3rd and 2, deep in your own end. Alberta has momentum. What do you do here? Do you kick the ball back or do you take an early risk?
I think, down 2 scores here, it looks like they're going to send the punt team on. They've had some success in the punting game. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it. We haven't seen any fakes yet today in day 1 of this Canada Cup. So if they have one, not the worst time to use it. Obviously a bit more of an obvious situation, though. Team Alberta does have 2 returners back, though.
Yeah, with 2 returners back, it makes you a little bit vulnerable for the fake. That means you only have 10 defenders, dealing with the 12 that you have on your punt team. An advantage New Brunswick if they do want to run a fake.
They will snap in. They will just kick this one away. Okoye's going to take that off the bounce. That time he lets it bounce, takes a couple more, and it's close to a no yards. No flag thrown as it does eventually come out. David Okoye makes one man miss, heading to the sideline there, going over midfield. They'll also add the no yards call after that.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate bounce. Team New Brunswick, if you're going to punt the ball, you got to punt it right or left, but not down the middle. And that ball just bounced right back to the middle of the field. It makes it that much easier for Alberta to get a nice return. Alberta will be very, very happy with this result. It's a net of about 8 yards on the exchange.
Okay, he's doing a great job returning this ball all day for Alberta on kick returns and punt returns. We see him on the Maxtron here at Mosaic Stadium.
Watching from Burlington, Ontario.
George Arbez still in at quarterback with Seth Polzer, his running back, in the backfield right now to start this drive. Late receiver getting on the line of scrimmage. Arbez will take the snap, jet motion coming across, hands it off to number 6 for Team Alberta. Makes one cut, goes to the middle there. Nice run on the play by Liam Piccini.
Tackle by 21, Liam Carter out of Harrison Trimble High.
So 2nd and 2 now for Team Alberta. Looking to try and put this one in further to reach distance from Team New Brunswick here. 3.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter.
Now, I don't know if you can see at home, but we can see it from here. Almost every player from both teams are sitting down their own bench. It's a testament of how hot it is down there on the turf at Mosaic Stadium.
Arbez hands it off this time. Nice run on the play to Seth Polzer, moving the chains for an Alberta first down.
Players are trying to find some shade and some water. It does take a toll. Very important to keep the hydration up this week. I think it's going to be pretty nice out here in Regina for the duration of this tournament.
John O'Neill with the tackle there for Team New Brunswick, but not before it's a first down gain for Polzer. Arbez takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Polzer that time on the right side, makes one cut, does a nice job there leading that or following that Team Alberta offensive line, who's having a great day running the ball.
Yeah, they really are. Right now Polzer is just approaching, and I think he just crossed the 100-yard mark. He's averaging roughly 7 yards a carry, so Alberta's starting to really find and impose their will with the run game. And again, challenging day for Team New Brunswick with their 3 starting linebackers out, not dressed today due to that illness. Obviously has done a really good job maintaining and limiting the runs, but Alberta are starting to get some strong momentum here.
Arbez takes, he has a puller, hands it off to Polzer this time, has a big lane up the middle. He's going to hit that. He's going to try and get to the goal line, brought down just short but that's another big run by Polzer. It's going to make it 1st and goal now for Alberta. Ball on the 1.5-yard line.
Alberta has a real chance here to go up 3 scores, before the start of the 4th quarter. Really feeling good about how they've been playing in this 3rd quarter.
Ethan Grunham now in the backfield, but Polzer's just going to, Arbez is just going to keep it himself, and that's going to be another touchdown for him, his 2nd on the day with another QB sneak.
Yeah, nice second effort by George Arbez, the quarterback out of Harry Ainley Titans in Edmonton. Great second effort, making sure, the whistle hasn't blown yet, so he keeps his feet going, and he outstretches himself, tries to get a touchdown, and well done.
That will increase the lead to 21. Extra point attempt coming up for Alberta.
Shout out to head coach of Alberta, Cody Herman. His 2-year-old daughter, Elway, is watching the game, and yes, she is named after John Elway.
That's awesome. Love that.
You'd love to see it.
Hozak's extra point attempt coming up. And a time count is called here. Not ready. I saw Team Alberta huddling to the left, almost not like a swinging gate, but just huddling to the side, and ends up getting a time count.
Well, they'll repeat the point after or get an attempt at the point after from 5 yards further than usual. Now we've seen that's no problem at all for this kicker.
Now a 17-yard extra point attempt coming up for Ira Hozak. Snap down, kick up, and kick is good. So that no good on the play. That kick is missed, so that time count actually came into effect pretty decently there.
Well, it keeps the score 21-zip, so we're back to a 3-touchdown lead for Alberta. New Brunswick with 13 minutes and 21 seconds left in this game. We'll have to find an answer quickly.
Yeah, we'll see who they send in for quarterback. We've seen 3 different quarterbacks now for New Brunswick. We'll see if the coaching staff has decided maybe who gives them the best chance to win this game. We're getting down to crunch time. They've obviously got to put some points on the board here soon to give themselves a chance and put themselves in a position to win this game.
Yeah, and all 3 QBs have played well. A little bit different styles, right? Hicks being a bit more of an RPO guy. Rossiter out of Riverview High School, more of a strong arm QB. And then number 4, Stockman, he went 2 for 2 in his only 2 attempts. So, it's going to be interesting to see who they come out with.
Imbo and Crowley back to return for Team New Brunswick. Hozak set to kick this one away. Nice kick on the play. Caught by Imbo on the 7-yard line. Catches that in the air. Trips, though. The turf monster gets him there. So Team New Brunswick's going to be in a tough spot to start this drive.
They'll start near their 15-yard line. It's all going to come down to some good play calling and quarterback play here. I mean, they can't push the ball too far, too fast, but they do need to score on this drive here if they want to remain in this game.
Minute 17 left. Ball on the 17-yard line for New Brunswick starting this drive. Evan Stockman, in at quarterback now for New Brunswick on this drive. Asher Beckley, the running back. Stockman takes the snap, hands it off to his running back that time. Makes one cut, but met right away by a big defensive lineman for Team Alberta. That's number 34. We've said his name a few times, Joseph Abumeshrik.
Yeah, we sure have. He's been playing well. And on that Manitoba D-line, we also need to talk about Cooper Troy, who's a first-year player, so he's a younger player on the team, but his coach says he's one of the best D-linemen he's seen come out of Alberta in a long time. He's got very high aspiration for number 99, which we see on the sideline now, and might get some playing time a bit later today.
Yeah, we've said his name once, I think, today. Made a nice play earlier. New Brunswick fakes that. He has a receiver deep open. Stockman does, and that's complete to number 15. That's Asher Beckley. coming out of the backfield, and that's going to move the chains for a first down.
Well, New Brunswick needed that. They could not go back to their bench in a 2-and-out. That would have been not okay down 21 zip here. They need to get some momentum back, and that's a great play out of the wheel route in the boundary.
Nice throw by Evan Stockman there out of Harrison Trimble. Stockman communicating with his H-back. He'll take the snap, turn, hand it off that time, but met in the backfield right away by that Alberta defensive line. And guess who? Joseph Abu-Meshrik once again.
Is he an early candidate for Defensive Player of the Game here, Chris?
I believe so. We'll have to find out if he's any relation to former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, I believe, offensive lineman Mike Abu-Meshrik. We'll have to find that out.
Yeah, and he's credited right now statistically with 2 tackle for losses and 4 tackles in total. So he's leading his team in both categories.
He's having a great game so far. As that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Team Alberta leading Team New Brunswick 21-0. So looking ahead after this game, we have Team Quebec versus Team, I should have checked this beforehand, Team Ontario. No, we saw them earlier. Team BC.
Team BC.
Team Quebec versus Team BC.
It's number 2 against number 7. So yeah, Team Quebec, have been a powerhouse in Canada Cup for a long time. Very good football team. They're one of the favorites to win this whole thing this year, along with, Alberta, Ontario, and Team Saskatchewan, probably the top 4 teams in this tournament. We rarely see a day 1 upset, right? These top 4 teams usually remain in top 4. But yeah, Team Quebec, expect a lot of things out of them. They've been solid for years.
Yeah, for sure. We've also talked to people before today's games about Team BC and about their size, how they are bigger than ever at this tournament. So we'll see if that comes into play. Expect that to be a very good game. And then we'll finish the day off with host Team Saskatchewan facing off against Team Manitoba with kickoff set for 7 p.m. here in Regina.
So they've put Roster back in. They're going to let him cook here in the fourth quarter.
Noah Crowley beside Roster in the backfield. Time is whistled in. Roster takes it, fake, looks quickly to that screen pass there, and that's going to go off a receiver's hands and falls incomplete, almost intercepted on the play by Team Alberta.
3rd and extra long. I think New Brunswick has no choice here but to go and punt this one away to Alberta. They're going to need a big defensive stand in order to stay in this game.
Coverage on the play by number 27, Thomas Rowan out of the Holy Trinity Knights in Okotoks, Alberta.
Alberta doing a good job with the returns. They've had 5 returns for 60 yards so far. That's a good average for Team Alberta. They got to be happy with that.
We'll see here if they kick to number 32, David Okoya. He's had some real strong returns, as you mentioned. Ball low. Punter does a nice job to catch that off the turf. This time it's kicked the other way, stays in bounds, and Crandall there catches that off the bounce and goes out of bounds around the 37-yard line.
Almost a picture-perfect punt there. It's a line drive. It's not like it's a 50-yard boot, but what it is, it's against the sideline. Really limits the Alberta returners and lowers that average down right on cue.
So big drive coming up here for Team New Brunswick defense. They cannot afford to give up a score here if they want any chance of coming back in this game.
No, they might have to start by stopping the run here. Right now, this rushing attack from Team Alberta is averaging over 8 yards a carry. Outside of the quarterback sneaks that we've seen. So they've got to find a way to slow that down.
Bonin back in now for quarterback for Team Alberta. Seth Polzer, the running back. Bonin keeps it himself. Looks complete to number 80 that time. Brought down right away on the play. That is Dylan Morin with the reception. And Sam Dunn with the tackle out of Fredericton High.
Yeah, Morin's 2nd reception today. Alberta passing the ball very well. As I'm looking at the statistics here, they're now 13 out of 20. Decent completion percentage on both teams today. We've seen some pretty good football.
It has been a very good game so far. Started off closely contested, no score until the middle of the second quarter. Team Alberta has been able to put up some points since then, but great football being played here at the Canada Cup, our second game of the day. Bonet takes it, turns, hands it off this time to Polzer that time, makes a cut, and that's going to be an Alberta first down. I want to thank everyone that is helping make this production happen. Of course, all the volunteers, Football Canada, Sports Canada TV, Football Saskatchewan, making this tournament happen. We see a ton of people up here at Mosaic Stadium doing a great job. Looking forward to the rest of the week here in Regina. Bonet and Polzer in the backfield still. Bonet takes a snap. He's going to look to throw this time. Has lots of time. Scrambles out wide, though, this time. Nice job by his O-lineman there. Makes one man miss. He's just going to keep himself and run here. Finally brought down just short of midfield for a short gain on the play.
Yeah, big-time run to the quarterback. That could have been a big loss, but instead he's put his team in a position here on a second and medium. Very manageable for Team Alberta as they huddle up and look to call the next play.
Nice block in the backfield by number 28, Devin Bomeister, out of Springbank Phoenix in Calgary there. Playing that H-back position. Bonet takes a snap. We see Bomeister come across that time. He's going to look for him. He tosses it to him right there, giving him some credit, protecting him on the play before that time, and now getting him the ball.
It's a nice little toss there for the first down, as we'll slow things down here for an injured player on the play. Chris, good crowd today. It's always surprises me in these tournaments. The parents are traveling from far. I see a New Brunswick contingent with their flags and wearing their maroon, and I see lots of blue and white as well in the crowd. Obviously, they come from a little bit closer out of Alberta, but it's been a nice atmosphere. Yeah, well, we were talking about it earlier. The flight from New Brunswick to Regina very well, and it's not exactly an easy one. Good comments in the chat as well about officiating. We have some of the best officials here in amateur football from across the country. If I'm not mistaken, there'll be no officials from Alberta or New Brunswick in this game because they are playing. So we're seeing officials from Saskatchewan and from other provinces as well. I think I saw British Columbia represented. I think I saw an official from Quebec as well, where they're all wearing their crests from their associations. That's really, really nice to see. And yeah, they're doing a great job. A Team Alberta offensive lineman down currently with an injury. That's number 55, Caleb Wetherell, getting looked at by the training staff here. Athletic therapist Melissa Petrina. I want to thank everyone watching along on YouTube, and like Olivier said, the comments. Appreciate all the kind words that you've been sending us and the corrections and everything that goes with it. We're having a lot of fun doing this. Game 2 on day 1 of the 2024 Canada Cup. A couple of candidates for Team New Brunswick on defense for their player of the game. We've mentioned number 9's name, our friend Landon, a few times. He's got 2 tackles for a loss, got 5 total tackles. We got Lombe and Kinney, both 7 tackles. Dunn has 6. It's been a good team effort on New Brunswick's side, try to fill that gap that they have at linebackers with the missing players, and they've shown well. On Alberta's side, when we look at their offense on the field right now, they've ran the ball very well. They have. They've done a great job. As we see Caleb Wetherell come off here, that offensive line for Alberta having a great game. Yeah, and then Pelzer, leading the way with the carries. He's got 15 for 112. It's an average of 7.5. His backup, less carries, but 4 for 42. That's over 10 yards of carry. So they've done pretty good on the ground. So Colin Bowie staying in at quarterback with Seth Polzer, the running back behind him. When he takes a snap, turns, hands it off to Polzer. Nice job by that O-line there. Have to catch a number on that. That's a great block by the big man.
and that's going to be close to a first down.
Again, Team Alberta here, if they keep this on the ground and get a first down, they'll be in range for a field goal, making this difficult for Team New Brunswick at 8 minutes to go to come back in this game. It's been a pretty even game, but Alberta took control in that third quarter and really has been the story of today's game.
Nicholas Oliveira Forster out of the Henry Wise Wood Warriors in Calgary there, making a nice block on that offensive line for Alberta. 2nd and 2. When he takes a snap, turns, play action. That time he's going to call his own number, makes the man miss in the backfield. Nice move, throws it, complete. Very athletic play there by Bonet, and that's complete to number 6, Liam Piccini, with a nice reception.
This has to be one of the plays of the game, right? We saw the quarterback make someone miss in the backfield, and just as we thought he was going to tuck it and, maybe lose a yard or two, nope, he pulls the ball up, finds an open receiver. It's almost 1st and goal here. Alberta has the ball on the 10.5-yard line.
Cohen Bonet doing a great job on this drive at quarterback. Takes a snap. He's going to pass this time over the middle. He's got a D-man in the end zone, but that one falls incomplete.
I'm surprised to see the deep shot, a little bit of more of a low completion, percentage type of play called here. But Team Alberta in control, 21-zip. I just thought they might keep the ball on the ground here and try to really punch it in. But 2nd and 10, we'll see what they dial up.
That pass intended for number 13, Jackson Sterling.
New Brunswick crowd and New Brunswick bench alive here, cheering on their defense.
Bonet with number 80, Dylan Morin in the backfield that time. Bonet scrambles to his left, puts a money ball, but that one's dropped. That was a nice throw. So it's going to be 3rd down now for Alberta as they send the field goal team on. Yeah,
they'll be looking to make this 24-0. Still a 3-score game, but now it's 3 touchdown needed and 3 2-point converts for New Brunswick. It's almost a 4-score game with the clock sitting at 6:46 left in this 4th quarter.
Ira Hozak coming on to attempt this field goal. Be a 17, 18-yarder. Snap is down, hold is good, kick is up. And that, I believe, is no good. Waiting for the official mark. It is wide, so just a single point there for Team Alberta. And again, New Brunswick will take that.
Yeah, they will. 22-0 is significantly better than 24-0. They only need 1 2-point convert now. With 6:28 to go, if Team New Brunswick wants to win this game, they absolutely have to score on this drive. And even more than that, they have to do so quickly, probably recover at least 1 onside kick. It's a tough task at hand. Let's see if they decide to air it out and really go for it here. Not out of reach yet, but a challenging scenario for sure.
Hazen Roster coming in at quarterback here for this drive. Noah Crowley, the running back. Roster 6'5", big arm QB. We see them try and get Team Alberta to jump here. They're going to have to be mindful of clock here as the clock is running and it's going to come down here as we get towards the end of this game. Roster takes the snap, looks to throw to his right, looks to his left, pressure in his face, escapes that. He's going to get this one away. You have to look out, and that's going to be a sack, I believe, on the play for Team Alberta. Number 34, once again, Joseph Abu-Meshrik.
2nd and 10 here from New Brunswick. They'll be on the right hash. They're in 3-down territory for sure. They need to get something positive out in this next play.
Ruster and Crowley in the backfield. That Team New Brunswick offense looking to the sideline.
Rossiter, the strong arm QB of the bunch, but is only 1 for 4 today for 8 yards. They're going to look and try to see if they can't hit a deep shot here, something to get the offense going.
We've seen Leo Foster's name called a few times. Gets this one away, 1 second on the play clock, taking a deep shot to the left, but that one's just going to fall incomplete. No flags on the play.
Yeah, and that's what we called for, right? We know with him, being back there as a QB, he's the strong arm, the one of the group, and it only makes sense. You're going to try to take some shots. They got to find a way to score quickly. 3rd and 10 now. You know, you're going to expect again some sort of deep shot, unless Team New Brunswick here elects to punt, as I see a mass substitution happening.
Nice coverage on the play by number 15, Kapanga James, out of Chestermere Lakers football program in Calgary. Olivia, are you surprised that New Brunswick is punting this one?
You know, it's a long tournament. You only have so many Hail Mary shot type of plays in your playbook, and maybe they're looking at the clock, 5:17 left, saying, yeah, maybe we can't win this one today, so they're going to go and punt and get some guys onto the field, and I think can still hold their heads very high in how they played today against Alberta.
Absolutely, they will get this punt away. David Okoya underneath it there, catches that in the air. He's got lots of room on that wide side, though. New Brunswick's going to have to be careful here. He's going to try and hit that sideline and push out of bounds right at the 50-yard line. Another big return for him.
One of my favorite special teams technique being used there. That's Solomon Carlson, defensive back out of the Cochrane Cobras, just outside of Calgary. Saw him avoid the block in the back, right? He put his arm in front, kind of shielded the gunner from being able to make a play, and that was a big reason why Team Alberta was able to turn the corner on that punt return. Really nice technical play by the young DB out of Cochrane.
Yeah, a late flag thrown at the end of that play here. Looks like it's against Team Alberta, so that's going to push them back.
Now, Cochrane, Chris, you and I had a chance to visit that high school. We saw a beautiful turf field with the mountains in the back. I was wowed by the sights of that new turf field that they have.
Yeah, it was a beautiful facility. Lots of construction going on in Cochrane, but it's a beautiful town. Loved having the opportunity to play there. Unfortunately, due to the pipe main burst in Calgary there, we hope that's been cleaned up now. But Bonet in at quarterback still with Granum in the backfield. Bonet takes it, pressure coming that time. He's going to hand it off, and that's not going anywhere. Big loss on the play by the Team New Brunswick D-line.
Swarming in the backfield, making sure it's 2nd and long, and making sure they give their team a chance to get the ball back here late. It's going to be 2nd and extra long, forcing Alberta to probably pass. Back to Cochrane, a high school that you and I, we didn't know much about, but it was hard to ignore when we walked in. They're 12, 13-time champions in Alberta. Yeah,
I believe it was 3A football in Alberta. Not 100% sure on that, but very strong football program there. Obviously, if you have a turf field in a smaller city there, you must be a pretty good football team. As Bonet is going to take a deep shot that time. Double coverage, goes up to get it, tipped and intercepted on the play by New Brunswick. We see a nice block by a defensive back there. He's got a ton of room on the left side. Flag down after the interception, though. So this one will probably come back a little bit, but not before the interception stands.
Yeah, the nice block might have been a peeled back block. It might get called back. So New Brunswick essentially getting the interception, but losing about 55 yards on the play. It's going to be the same as a long, long punt. But you got to feel good about catching that tip ball and statistically getting interception. But I've got a feeling New Brunswick's going to be backed up quite deep in their own end.
Aaron Alder out of Tantramar Regional High with the tipped interception there, as it is going to come back quite a bit. We'll see on the replay here, as you'll see a defensive back come in and make a block. Not sure if we'll see it there.
It was a nice big hit, but some rule changes to make sure the football continues to be safe as the sport evolves. You cannot block someone when you're facing your own end zones. I believe, is the proper terminology peel back? What is it called again, Chris?
I believe so. We wish Paul Harrison was here. We could talk about it a bit more, but there's a few different terminologies that you could use. But peel back is definitely one of the more common ones. As we see Hazen Rust here in a quarterback right now with Noah Crowley, his running back. Time running. Roster takes it, hands it off to Crowley, and only getting a couple yards there. Does a good job to keep his feet moving. Play hasn't been whistled down yet. They're going to keep moving this pile.
Having 5 touches so far today. He's a New Brunswick player with the most touches other than his teammate Beckley.
Another carry there for the running back, and that's going to be enough for a New Brunswick first down.
We've reached a 3-minute warning here, Chris. There's 2:42 to go in this game. New Brunswick down 22-0 to the number 3 ranked Team Alberta, who's played very well, specifically in the second half. It's been a good game.
Wrigley Seville in on the tackle there for Team Alberta. as there is a injured player down, I believe, for Team Alberta. No, it looks like just a water break, maybe a timeout called. So, Olivier, been a great game for this one. You know, the score, obviously, it's a 3-score game, but closer than it would maybe appear.
Yeah, especially in the first half. Until the last minute of that second quarter, there was a 0-0 game. And both teams playing very well, exchanging some good plays here and there, and both defensive units, really, I thought, stepped up. We've seen some good football, not many missed opportunities as much as just good football plays on the other side. And yeah, it's a high quality of football we're seeing here at the Canada Cup U18 tournament.
So 1st and 10 now for New Brunswick. Roster in at quarterback on this drive. Takes the snap, hands it off inside there. Not much going on though. Keeps his feet moving, breaks the tackle. He's going to head for this sideline. Has to make that man miss. He doesn't. He's going to be stopped, I believe, just short of that first down to gain.
Yeah, and Crowley now becoming the leading rusher for Team New Brunswick. Doing a great job today, averaging nearly or just over 5 yards a carry. That's something you want to see at your running back. 5 yards a carry keeps the chains moving.
2nd and 2 now. Asher Beckley back in the backfield at running back. New Brunswick letting the time window down. Rossiter takes the snap, hands it to his running back, makes a cut there, and brought down short of the first down. It's going to be, we'll see what the officials call. One is signaling first down. And they look like they're going to call that a first down, and it is a Team New Brunswick first down.
Good run by Beckley there. It's nice to see New Brunswick kind of use both backs back and forth. They did mention to us they felt very good about both of the running backs, and they're showing it right now.
Rossiter and Beckley in the backfield here. Minute 42 left in the game. So we see that freeze motion. There's only 2 seconds left on the play clock. They're not going to get this one off. And there is the time count. You know, officials willing to give them maybe a little leniency, but that they weren't anywhere close to snapping that one.
No, this one unfortunately almost feels like either by the time the play call got in, it's almost like it already had been whistled in for so long that there's no chance for the offense to get that going.
So results in just a loss of down, no yards lost on the play. Is now 2nd and 10. Under 3 minutes left here in the game. Rossiter takes it, hands it off this time to Crowley, but met in the backfield right away for a loss. That is number 87. Once again, Wrigley Seville with the tackle.
Yeah, and it's a good observation on your part, Chris. There's no loss of 5 yards. When it's under 3 minutes, it's a loss of down for a delay game penalty or a time clock violation. So the rules do change in Canadian football once you're inside that 3-minute warning.
So Team New Brunswick will send the punt team on here. Minute and a half left in the game. As we start to see the Team BC and Team Quebec coaches down in the corner watching. Noah Crowley going to punt this one away for New Brunswick. Snap is good. Crowley does a good job catching that above his head. Gets a nice punt away. Okoye catches that at the 35. He's going to try and hit that field side once again. This time brought down from behind, though. Good coverage on the play by number 10, Nathaniel Kinney.
Good thing Kinney was there, and he's been one of the sound tacklers of Team New Brunswick. These punts from New Brunswick, they have to stay on the sidelines. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but Alberta's been getting great yardage, and I think as a punter or punt unit, you got to try to cut the field in half a little bit better. But with 1:03 to go and the score being 22-0, I'm not sure it's going to matter a ton.
Just over a minute left here in this game. We'll see if Alberta is just going to run the ball a couple times. The officials here are calling. Looks like a holding penalty against Alberta on that return, so that's going to bounce them back on this final drive.
So, Chris, 22-zip, not a bad score line for a number 3 ranked team playing number 6 team. I think Alberta probably wanted a bit more. New Brunswick, I think they're going to feel okay about this. For them, I'm not sure, and I'm making an assumption, I'm not speaking on their behalf, but you're not coming to this tournament going, hey, we're going to win gold. You're coming to this tournament going, hey, let's play some good football. I think escaping this game with a 22-0 score is not bad at all. What they really got to do is win their second game and their third game and keep a very high ranking. And I think that's a positive result today for them.
Absolutely, yeah. New Brunswick, nothing to be ashamed of in this game. It's a 3-score game still. They've had some opportunities for some plays. We talked about a few of the issues that they've been dealing with as far as players missing today's game as well. As we see Alberta hand the ball off to Bowmeister here and just run the clock off. New Brunswick, lots to build on and hopefully get those guys back for the next game and try and put themselves in a chance to play for an important game on Saturday. Bowmeister once again getting the ball this time, his second carry there. Nice job moving the chains. Alberta's going to have a chance to take knees here if they want.
And on Alberta's side, 22-0 is not a bad result. I talked a lot about New Brunswick and how it's positive for them, but Alberta feels good too. They had a slower start to the game. Maybe that's how they could have felt. They come out of halftime and they kicked it into gear and took control of this game. They probably feel pretty good with their second half, and as they're taking knees here, I assume, to finish this game, they're going back home, They're going to get ready for the second game without any major injuries that we can see of. So they're happy. Mission accomplished for them.
Yeah, I think head coach Cody Ehrman definitely has a lot to be proud of. That coaching staff's going to get to work getting ready for their second game here on Wednesday, as Alberta will just take knees to end this game.
Cam, fully agree with you. New Brunswick's been building. Huge spark. Keep growing. Well done. Absolutely. And we'll see the New Brunswick fans in 2 or 3 days. We'll see the Alberta fans in 3 days as well. A nice game, I thought that we got a chance to see here between number 3 and number 6.
Absolutely. As Team Alberta takes this one over Team New Brunswick, 22-0. We'll be back in roughly an hour for Team Quebec versus Team BC.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join us in congratulating both teams on an outstanding performance and a great game. At this time, we can draw your attention to the midfield circle. We will commence with the presentation to the most valuable offensive and most valuable defensive player awards, 12 Gs. These awards are chosen by the U18 Football Canada Cup Selection Committee. The winner of the most valuable defensive player of the game for Team New Brunswick, number 9, Landon Digby. The winner of the most Offensive Player of the Game for New Brunswick, number 2, Oliver Hicks. The winner of the Most Valuable Defensive Player of the Game award for Team Alberta, number 34, Joseph Abu. And the winner of the Most Valuable Offensive Player of the Game award for Team Alberta, number 5, Seth Holzer. Can we give it up again for both teams on an outstanding game? Thank you all so much for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen. And just a reminder that coming up next, today's scheduled start time about 4 p.m. is the third game of the day between Team British Columbia and Team Quebec. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Will it